video for you of me telling a story to a bunch of random people on Xbox Live. And it's about an hour and a half long, as you can see probably in the video. And it's completely made up. The whole story is improvised. I didn't have any of it planned ahead, and I guess that's what improvised means, but yeah, so I went into like a public match, and I thought of a topic off the top of my head, and was like, blah blah blah, and then from there I merged into telling a story about my life. I guess. It's completely made up, it's fake. But what I did was I made it so convincing that I got a lot of people to party up with me. So I invited them to a party, and I had about 4 people. 3 of them stayed the entire time. One of them left about halfway through, but yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the story that you'll notice. Maybe not, I don't know, it's pretty long by the time I probably get to that topic. You probably forgot about it. My music is really loud, so that's cool. But anyway, there's a lot of things I say that are completely made up, facts about the military that are probably nowhere near accurate. So yeah, if you guys have like an hour and a half to spare, just leave the window minimized, I guess. You can just listen to me in the background. I guess that's what you can do. I mean, it might throw you off if you're, but if not, you could listen to it, and hope you enjoy it. So if you like it, I could do more, and if not, then this is awkward. I just got off a tour in Iraq. I'm just playing this game. Yeah. It's was there for about 4 years. Some crazy stories, man. Like to hear a couple? Alright. Ah, man, I died. Hey, oh, there you go. So, my military history, right? I enlisted back when I was 18, and straight out of high school, I wanted to help my country out. I wanted to be a part, wanted to make a difference in the freedoms of our people. So I was like, you know what? Join the military, right? I mean, how else would you help the people of America? Because I was my parents were they were deported back when I was a kid, because they were both immigrants, and they were both immigrants, so they didn't marry a citizen. So I never got they were never citizens, but since I was born here in America, I got citizenship. You know how that works? Yeah. So they were both deported when I was about 12 years old was when they were both deported. And as a kid, in about 6th grade, I'm pretty sure it was 6th grade. Hello? Saviors? Anyway, so my parents were deported. Do you want to hear my story about my, yeah, alright. So my parents were deported, back when I was in 6th grade. I was about 12 years old. And I was a young kid. This is a big deal for me, right? I didn't know how to deal with the situation, so I ended up in the foster system, because I'm parentless. So obviously for me being so young, I didn't like it. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do with my life, so I tried running away. About 3 months being under the foster system. Hey, RNGesus, I'm telling a story here, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thanks, bro. Sorry. Anyway, so I ran away from my foster parents. About 12 you want about 12 years old. So I ran away to one of my friend's house from school, and their parents, they were cool people, you know. They knew what I've been going through, because my friend has been talking to them about it. He even tried to get them to adopt me, but they just couldn't do it financially, and you know, it just wasn't an option. So I stayed at their house for about 2 weeks, but they told me if I don't get a job, which I couldn't because I was 12. So if I didn't get a job, then they couldn't like keep me. So what I did was I applied for a young actor, and you know, those young actor audition things, you know, that you hear on the radio and stuff, right? Yeah, so I applied for one of those for a Honda commercial, right? And this was back in probably about 90, 99, 98 maybe. So I applied for a Honda commercial, and I got the part, cause I don't know how else to say this. I'm a decent looking guy. Let's just put it that way, right? I'm an alright looking guy, enough to be on TV apparently. So they give me the part in the Honda commercial. And I'm like, perfect. And then they offer the scholarships, or not the not the scholarship, but the payment for things like this. It's a lot. You get about $8,000 for starring in a commercial for a big company like Honda, and all I had to do was sit in a car and just smile and look happy like a family. Now, mind you, I had both of my parents deported, so I don't really know what it was like to, you know, be in a happy family. So I struggled a little bit, but finally, after a couple of takes, I got a good smile going. I looked pretty, you know, like I was attached to them, and I you know, did well. They paid me my compensation, and they paid me my compensation, my $8,000 after the whole thing was over. After taxes, I think I got about $6,500. And for a 12-year-old, you know, you'd think a 12-year-old $6,500 that you'll spend it on stupid things like, I don't know, Legos or something. But I was mature because, you know, I've been through a lot. I had to grow up fast, so I stayed with those parents, the friends, my friend Quentin, his parents, and so I was like, look, I got $6,500. I can help, you know, help you out. Like, I can support myself basically for a little bit, right? So like, all right, and we'll like, they said we'll provide you your basic needs, as long as, you know, you help out with the important things, like I'm gonna buy my own clothes and, you know, stuff like that. Anything, you know. So at this point, I'm about 13 years old, living with a family that's not mine, and yeah. And living expenses for a 13-year-old, not very much. I didn't eat much. You know, I was pretty skinny from being depressed. I kind of had a low appetite. So it wasn't like that big of a deal. I think I spent about $2,000 a year. So about 3 years later, I'm about 16 now, old enough to get a job, right? So 3 years later, and mind you, with the budget I was on, I wasn't the most popular kid in school because of, you know, I couldn't really afford luxuries other people could, you know, like nice clothes or shoes. So I looked pretty raggedy a lot, but you know, it was me. I was surviving. I was, you know, it wasn't a concern. It was more me being able to be alive than how I looked. It wasn't as important to me. So so I'm 16 now. So I was like, all right, I need to get a job. I can legally have a job now, and now I can help even more, pay for bills and support myself more, and help out the family that I'm staying with, right? So I apply to tons of places, at least 10 a week, I'd say. Maybe a little bit of exaggeration, but I'd applied to a lot of places, right? After about a month searching for a job, I finally got a call for an interview for a 7-Eleven. And both my parents are immigrants. I'm half Filipino, half Venezuelan, and I'm brown, and I can pass for a lot of races. I can pass for Mexican, Filipino. Sometimes I can pass for Indian, or a couple other races, Dominican, stuff like that. So 7-Eleven, right? I don't know if you've ever been to a 7-Eleven, but there's a lot of Indian workers there, and it was owned by an Indian. So I go in for my interview, looking pretty, Indian, and I do well, firm handshake in the beginning, firm handshake, made a good first impression. I knew how to deal with an interview. I knew, look him in the eyes, everything basically, because I'm a mature kid now. So anyway, about 10 minutes into the interview, he asked me, why should I hire you? And I was stuck for a little bit. I was like, I said I'm a hard worker. I know a lot about responsibilities, because remember, I've been not on my own, but in a way I kind of have been on my own my whole life. So I said I'm a hard worker. I know a lot about responsibilities. I've matured quickly, and I'm basically an adult now, because I take care of myself. It's like, all right, it's a pretty good answer, right? So all right, let's kind of skip through the interview. I get the job. I start the next week, right? Unfortunately, on my way back, I didn't have a car, and their parents, the parents I was staying with, they worked a lot. Their name were Jill and Brandon. They worked a lot, so they were never home and couldn't give me a ride to 7-Eleven. So I rode a bike, right? On the way back from the interview, I was crossing the street, and just my luck, I get hit by a car, right? I fall over. It's not like a bad hit, but it was enough to knock me over. It was about, I'd say, 15 to 20 miles per hour, which, it's not, what's that word? Fatal, but it could injure a man, So I get knocked off my bike, break my wrist, my right wrist. That's how I fell on it. So here I am. I just got a new job, but I have a broken wrist. What am I gonna do? Do I go back and tell him, look, now I can't work? How is that gonna look? I mean, you think he'd understand, but to me, a 16-year-old, I'm not sure how to judge the situation, right? So I didn't start till next week. So mind you, I had some time to maybe think of a little bit of had time to think of what am I trying to say? I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of a way out of it. Think of a way to maybe compromise with the boss of how I can stay working, but but I have a broken arm now, so I don't know what I do. Hey, where's that guy? Did you leave? Bummer. All right, you're still listening, right, Saviors? All right. So hey, you want me to invite you to a party so you can just listen to my story, or you want to keep playing? All right, cool. I got this guy to join my party because he said sure, so he's gonna join my party. So now I'm gonna just freaking talk him to death. on oh, and that other guy that was in there. So I have a party of 2 now. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna invite this guy too. The other guy wanted to listen to the story too. So. All right. Where was I? Broke my wrist, right? I'll wait for the. Yeah, I'll wait for the other guy to join. Yeah, I had to figure out how am I gonna deal with this, right? Destroyer, what part did you leave the story at? Was I at the interview with 7-Eleven yet? Alright, so basically, long story short, I got the job, right? But on the way back, I was riding my bike because the parents, Jill and Brandon, they worked a lot, so I had to ride a bike to and from my job interview. But on the way back, I got hit by a car and broke my right wrist. So I just got the job, and 7-Eleven's really big on image and stuff like that. So they don't want people with casts working up front because it makes, like, I don't know why they think this, but it makes the the company look weak in a way. It's all about image for corporations like that. So I break my wrist and I just got the job, but I don't start for another week. So I have time to try to figure out a plan on what I can do about this. So I'm like, there's no way around it. I have to get a cast. It's broken. I can't just like play it off. It's broken. I can't do anything with it. I can barely move it. So I get a cast, and I call my new boss. His name's Sandeep Gill. And I call him, and I'm like, look, man, on the way back from the interview, I got hit by a car, and I broke my wrist. And he was like, oh, like, he didn't really know how to react to it, but he offered for me to basically have a guaranteed job when it healed up. Now, it wasn't too bad of a break. It was just like a minor fracture, but the heal time was about 3 to 4 weeks, and I was already that 6500 from back when I did that Honda commercial. It was nearly depleted. I had about 100 left, maybe 200, and that has to last me a whole month, and that would be about 3 weeks worth. And so I talked to the parents I was staying with. I was like, look, guys, I've gotten to this situation, and I need help for about a month, and I'll pay you guys back. So like, all right, sure, yeah, we know you're a good kid. You're good for the money. I'm like, all right, sweet. So I get them to help me out through that month, and I helped them pay for the medical bills the last $200. So I was out of money. But after the 4 weeks was up, I had my job at 7-Eleven guaranteed. So first day of work, I'm working, and I'm doing the best I can. I'm being polite. I'm saying hello, greeting people. Customer service was my top priority because that's what the boss said was needed. And I was like, so, well, let me get a drink of water. All right. Anyway, so I get the boss to he notices this after about a week of me working. He notices like more customers coming in, and like not more customers, but more frequent customers. Like the same people, people came in more frequently, like, and having conversations with me, and I was holding them, and the longer they're there, the more they're gonna buy, right? Because they're in there longer. So he notices this, and after about a month, he says, "You're doing a good job. Keep it up." I'm like, "Thanks." I don't know what else to say to that, but I was like, "Thanks." He was like, "All right, so just keep it up, and maybe soon we'll get you a raise or something." And I was like, "All right, sounds great." And I'm 16 at this point, and remember, I'm still having to pay for like basic resources. The parents were still helping out with with food, but I still had to pay for like rent. Like it wasn't like rent, but it was kind of like it was about 100 to 200 a month I was paying to them for providing for me, and that was fair enough. I mean, I'm gracious enough for them to take me under their arm, right? So I think I want to go into another game. Is that all cool with you guys? So we could get more people to listen to the story. Or how about Ground War, where people can, or no? How about yeah? How about Domination? That sound good, guys? All right. Anyway, so where was I? That's right. I was really gracious for the people taking me under their wing. I'm a grateful person to them, and I still live with them, in fact. But they're at work right now, so. But but yeah, I don't live with them, but I'm here for the weekend, or not weekend, but we're on like a little leave break thing right now because I just got back from that deployment. So anyway, where was I? So I was really gracious for them, right? And so they're helping out. I'm helping out with the jobs. After about 2 months, I'm off. I'm off work one day, and I'm just sitting at home, just watching TV, just chilling there. And I get a phone call from my boss, and he says, "Hey, Niccolo, what are you up to?" I was like, "Nothing much. I'm just relaxing." Hey, TTGXI Snipe. I'm telling a story. You want to listen? Or all right. Anyway, so he calls me up and he says, "Hey, Niccolo, what are you up to?" And I'm like, "Nothing much. I'm just sitting here watching TV." And he says, "What do you have you eaten dinner yet?" And I said, "No. I was about to go bake a DiGiorno's pizza, because I lived off of I lived off of a lot of fast food and pretty much oven ready kind of foods like chicken nuggets and hot pockets and stuff like that. So I was just baking. I was like, "No, I'm gonna bake a pizza in a little bit probably because I'm getting a little hungry." He was like, "Hey, how about you come over to my place in about an hour, and my wife's making dinner, and we can all eat." I was like, "Oh, that sounds wonderful," and this is a good sign. Your boss inviting you over to his house for dinner. That's wonderful, right? That can only mean good. They're not gonna make you dinner to fire you, right? I was like, "Oh, great, perfect." And remember, I've only been working here for about 2 months now. So he says, at dinner, I come in, I dress up a little bit. I wear a button-up T-shirt, some slacks, and a nice tie. And so we're eating dinner. She made it was meatloaf with mashed potatoes, and then it was like just some fruits vegetables on the side, and some something to drink. So we're eating, right? Just talking about anything about how we're doing. I asked how they're doing, and then my boss comes and he says, comes into the conversation after it got quiet for a little bit. He says, "So, how are things with you at your place and with money?" And I said, "Well, honestly, because at this point I wasn't working full time. I was getting I'd say about 20 to about 25 miles or 25 hours per work week, right? So it's not even close to full time. It's a little over half full time, right?" So I said, "I'm doing all right, and at this point I'm making minimum wage, which is $8 an hour." I was like, "I'm doing all right, but with the hours I'm getting, and the boss knew my situation because I told him at the interview, and I said, with the situation I'm in, and the hours I'm getting, and the pay I'm getting, I'm barely making it through through the month. I'm pretty much living paycheck to paycheck with this family I'm living with." And he says, "All right, listen, I know you're in a rough spot in your life, and I know you're a good worker, and you're probably one of the best we have, if not the best." And I said, "Well, thank you, I really appreciate that." And he says, "How would you like a raise?" I said, "That would be fantastic, that'd be perfect." And not only did he give me a raise, he said, "How would you like to be assistant manager, right?" and I've been working here for 2 months, but the work ethics I showed, he was really, you know, a big fan of. So he gave me the raise. It wasn't much. It was 50 cents. But if you think about it, 50 cents an hour more, it adds up, yeah. Plus, as assistant manager, I'd be getting more guaranteed hours. Because before, they weren't guaranteed hours, they were just hours that, you know, I usually worked, yeah, I usually worked them, but, like, if they wanted to, they didn't, like, he didn't have to, you know, he didn't have to give them to me. But, as assistant manager, there were guaranteed hours, you know, something that I had a set, like, schedule that I worked. And, so yeah, so I got a guaranteed 30 hours a week guaranteed 30 hours a week at $8.50 an hour, right? So I'm trying to figure out about how much I was making. My paychecks were about a little over $4.50 with taxes taken out and everything. $4.50 bi-weekly every 2 weeks, right? So I'm making about $900 a month, and for my living expenses at the time, it was about $300. So this gives me about $600 to save around, to like save, or to, you know, maybe invest in something. So I start saving it. At this point, it's nearing my 17th birthday, so I'm like, you know what? I think I should start getting my license soon, because I was already 16 and a half, and it was closer to 17, and 16 and a half is when you can start, or no, it's actually 15 and a half. But anyways, I don't know why I started late. Yeah, I started late, but anyway, so I was like, I think I'm gonna go for my license, because I need a form of transportation, because I was still riding my bike to 7-Eleven every time I worked, and it wasn't too far of a ride. It was about a 3-mile bike ride, which it's not too long, but you know, when it rained, it was always unfortunate, and you know, it was kind of a pain in the butt, you know. So so I was like, I think I'm gonna save up for a car, get my driver's license, so I can have a form of transportation, and I won't have to bug Jill and Brandon for rides anywhere if I ever wanted to go places. So at about saving about I was saving about $500 a month out of the $600 extra I was getting. I was spending about $100 on, you know, things like clothes and stuff like that. But I was saving about $500 a month, and it added up quickly. On my 17th birthday, I had about $2,000, right? $2,000 saved up, and there was this car that I really wanted. The guy was selling it for $3,000, right? It was a Jeep Cherokee. It wasn't like it wasn't old, but it was kind of it was an older model. I think it was a probably a '98, you know. And I was like, look, I really want this Cherokee, and he was like, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you. I'm selling it for $3,000, and I only had $2,000. So I was like, if I were to save up in another month, and you didn't sell it yet, can I buy it for $2,500? He goes, sure. Because $2,500 cash. I mean, he goes, sure, that I can do that. I was like, all right, thanks. So unfortunately, 2 weeks later, someone calls him up. He sells the car, and I'm stuck with my $2,000 and you know, no car. So I have to go looking for cars again. I was still going to high school, right? And one of my other friends' parents, not the ones I was staying with, one of my other friends' parents, Nick, his parents were selling the car, right? And I've known this Nick since I was, I want to say, probably about 7th grade, and now I'm about a junior in high school at this point in the story. So I've known him for about 6 years. Is that right? I think maybe less. Probably about 6, I guess. No, it's like 3 or 4. I don't know. Anyway, so I've known him for a while, and I used to hang around at his house all the time, and so we were pretty close. And I knew his parents pretty well because when I was at his house, his parents would make dinner sometimes, and we'd talk. And they were selling a car for $3,500, and this was, I was already about to get that the 500, so I was about to be about 2,500, and then plus I didn't spend the other 100 that I was spending on, like, miscellaneous stuff. So I had about 2,600 at the end of that month, and I just really wanted that car. And I was like, listen guys, I've known you for a while, and I'm really trying to buy a car, and yours would be perfect. I'm sorry? Yeah, I only had $2,600, and they're trying to sell it for $35. And it was like a 35 but negotiable 3,500, So I was like, listen, I have $2,600 cash. Is there any way we can arrange, maybe if I just give you the 2,600 cash right now, and then I could pay an additional 400 next month, or make payments or something like that. So I'd be buying it for about $3,000, right? And I'm pretty close with their parents, so they agreed. I was like, perfect, I have a car now, right? But the problem with this car was it wasn't registered, and it hasn't been smogged and everything in a couple of years. So that was another about $300 to get it all done. And so I didn't get to drive it until another month later. And at this time I was about to get my license. So I would have my license and I'd be able to drive it by the time everything was all set. So I get the car, and I have my license now. This is past my 17. I'm about 17 and a half at this point. So I have my license. I have my car, and I'm doing fine, right? I got everything done. I got everything dealt with, and I can drive it now. I paid for my own gas, and I paid for my own insurance and stuff like that. Which insurance was about $95 a month, and then gas in the car was about, it was a Ford Mustang, not the GT, but the older, not, I don't know what it is. It's like a Ford Mustang. I don't know what year it is. I think it's about an '01. And so I had the car, paying for gas. Gas in that car was I'd say about $60 a month. With the driving I did, because I had to drive to school. School was about a 5-mile drive. Work was about a 3-mile drive, and I worked not daily. I worked about 5 days out of the week. So it adds up. 3 miles there and back, so about 6 miles, 5 days out of the week. So it's 30 miles right there, plus school, 5 days a week. So I was paying for gas, about $60 a month, and insurance, which is about $95, $100 a month, depending on some, stuff. So I was paying about an additional $160 a month, plus the 200. And as I got older, I the parents I was staying with, Jill and Brandon, they warned me when I was younger. They were like, when you get older, you're gonna have more needs. You're gonna be consuming more food, so you're gonna need to be paying more. And I was fine with that. I understood. It made sense to me, right? So now I'm paying about $300 a month. Remember, I'm making about $900 a month at this point. I was paying about $300 a month to them, plus about $160. So that's about $460 a month. That's guaranteed gone. And then some car repairs. There was something with like the catalytic converter or something like that. I wasn't really sure. I didn't really ask much about it, but the mechanics did it. It was about $200 that next month. So that following month I was pretty much broke. But at this point I've been working at 7-Eleven for about almost a year now. I think it was about 10 months at this point when the boss, I was still had the same work ethics that the boss liked and appreciated. So he asked me at work one day. He was like, "Can you come back here? I want to talk to you for a minute." He never asked me like that before, so I thought I was in trouble at first. But luckily, he was like, "What? How are things at home?" And I was like, "Everything's fine. I'm doing all right with money. You know, I'm trying to save up because I was nearing the end of high school, right? I was a senior at this point, and I had college to pay for in a little bit. Anyway, so I had college to pay for the year after because I wanted to get my degree so I can. I wanted to get my degree so I can get a better job, you know, in the future, and like be self-made, I guess you can say. So I'm like, everything's fine at home. I'm surviving off of what I'm making. He was like, and I was like, but I'm trying to save up for college now. And he goes, pretty much the same thing. He says, look, you've been here for about 11 months now. You're probably the best worker we have. I'm talking about a story about my life, about how I grew up. Do you want to hear like a quick summary of it really quick? Killer Grizz, you want to hear a quick summary of the story I was just telling? No, I was telling a story to Distribulator and Saviors. Alright, so basically, when I was 12, my parents got deported. I was put into a foster system. I ran away to a friend's house, stayed there. I was in a Honda commercial that I got me some money to, because they didn't want to just have me there. I had to, help pay with bills and expenses, because they didn't have an extra child for a reason, So I helped them with like bills and stuff with the money I made, and stuff like that. And then after it was about $2,000 a year surviving that way. So when I was about 16, I got a job, or when I was 16, I got a job at 7-Eleven, and in about a couple of months, I with my great work ethics, I got promoted to manager and got a 50-cent raise, and was getting like a guaranteed 30 hours a week, which was about $900 a month, So I'm paying for expenses and stuff like that. And where was I now in my story? I was about to get another raise or promotion. So I was at work. My boss called me back. I've been working for 11 months there now. Or, well, not now, but back then. It was 11 months. And he called me back. He goes, how are things? And I said, I'm alright, but I'm trying to save for college now. Because at this point I'm a senior in high school, and I needed, I wanted to get a degree so I can, get a better job, get a better paying job, and hopefully support myself, move out, and be my own man now. So I talked to him. He says, you're the best we have. You're great with customers. People love you. You build relationships with the people that come in and stuff, that's a real plus for a place like that, where people come often for, like, when they come in the mornings for coffees and stuff like that. It's always good to know them on a personal basis. So he basically he gives me a promotion, promotes me to manager, right? I was assistant manager up until then, and promotes me to manager, and he gives me another raise, $9 an hour, and it's a guaranteed full-time job now. So I'm going to high school, working full-time, which I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's illegal. You're only legally allowed to work 4 hours each school day, and I'm a senior in high school right now. Well, not right now, but But he was like, look, you're worth the risk. And he was like, all right, sure. I haven't been caught, or I wasn't caught, I guess, when I was there. But that's, I don't know, little spoiler alert. But where was I? So I got my guaranteed 40 hours a week at $9 an hour, and it was great, I had plenty of money to spare. So I was making about $7.20 a paycheck, and I after taxes and everything, it was about maybe about 1,000, maybe 1,100 a month, right? As opposed to when I was making, before I was making about 900 a month. So yeah, all right. So now I have more money to spend, but remember, I'm trying to save for college, and I wanted to go somewhere out of state, or not out of state, but like out of the city I was in. So I started saving up. It was still at they were still making me pay about 300 a month for my living expenses being there, which was still really cheap if you think about renting like your own apartment. It's probably about 1,100 a month or something like that, and I'm only paying about 300. So what? All right. Anyways, all right. All right. So I was making plenty. I was making plenty of extra money to save. I was saving about 800, about between 600 and 800 a month, depended on you know, if I felt like buying any clothes and how much overtime I worked and stuff like that. So I was saving up, and I wanted to go, and I live in California, and I wanted to go to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo. You know, it's a good college, but the location it's in, it's really expensive for things like dorming and stuff like that, and it's out of it was about, I think it's about 6 hours from where I lived at that time. Well, I guess I still live here now, but I don't live here. I'm just visiting for a couple of weeks. Cause and by the way, I just got off of a deployment in Iraq, so that's why I'm on right now. But where was I? So I was saving about 600 to 800 a month for college, and San Luis Obispo, dorming alone for a room to live on campus is per year, it's about $12,000. $12,000 a year, plus you know, I have to pay for classes, which are about 200 to 250 per unit, and then books on top of that, which are about between 100 to about 250, right? So if you think about it, yeah, college is just really expensive. And after senior year was done, I did get into San Luis Obispo because my grades were great. I took the SAT, got a 1850 on them, and you know, I was doing great. But after the year was over, I only had about 10,000 saved up, and the parents I was living with, they weren't exactly the wealthiest people. They were just, you know, making it. They were an average family. So so I applied for financial aid, and I got it. So I had about, oh, my mic is messing up. I had about $10,000, which, as you know, I said $12,000 a year for dorming alone, and so I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work. So the financial aid, they gave me about $3,000 a month, right, for dorming expenses, for classes and books and stuff, and $3,000 a month for college. That it wasn't enough. Basically, it was enough to pay for dorming and then some classes for that semester. So the rest of my 10,000 were where I tried to invest them, and into a bank account. Not invest them, but, you know, put them into like well, I guess investing. I put them into like bonds and you know, stuff like that. So 10 years later, I didn't put all 10,000. I put about 1,000 into that. And there's this bond where you those bonds that mature. So you buy $1,000 bond. 10 years later, it's $2,000 basically. So I bought a couple of those. Yeah. So I bought about $1,000 worth of those, and then the $9,000 I had left were for more expenses, for dorming, food. Because in college you have to pay for your own food, cook for yourself and stuff. So I had to pay for my food and stuff like that. So in college I made it barely, but at this point I was about to join the military, and this was my first year of college. I was still 18, and I wanted to join the military when I was 18. So I joined the military. Yeah, no, you don't. So I joined the military. I left college, and I joined the military because I was like, the expenses, it's too much. I can't pay for this. And if you guys know about it, if you join the military, after you're out, they pay for college and stuff like that, So I was like, perfect, I'll join the military after I get out of college, or after I get out of the military, go to college for free, basically. So I joined the military. I'm in the Marines, and so yeah, I go through boot camp. I had a lot of support from friends and the family I was staying with, Jill and Brandon. They helped me a lot with struggles, and I made it through. I was a Marine. After I went through SOI for about 3 months, and then some special training for what I do. I'm an EOD, so I wear explosive ordnance diffusers, and so I got all my training done, and I got a bonus, right? You get a $10,000 bonus for enlisting as an EOD because their death rate is so high. And I was like, perfect, this is what I need. And then you get another $60,000 bonus for re-enlisting, because no hogs, I'm telling a story. Alright, anyways, so I'm an EOD now. I went through all the schooling, through all the I went through all the training and everything, and then 2 months later I got deployed to Iraq, right? And I'm 22 now, by the way, and it was a 4-year deployment. So I get deployed to Iraq, and I was in Iraq now. I was a soldier. I had to help my squad survive, help other people survive, I guess. I wanted to fight for the country. I wanted to make a difference on the other territory to our place, because the Brandon, the one I was staying with, he was also a Marine when he was growing up. So he oh my gosh, hold on, let me get some water. Oh my gosh, that tastes delicious. Ah, gosh, I am parched. Talking like this for hours. Anyway, so I get deployed to Iraq, right? And the friend I grew up with, I don't know if I mentioned that, the guy I grew up with. Oh, Killer Grizz wants to chat. You know what? Here, guys, I'm gonna exit. I'm gonna invite you guys to a party again, so we can party up with Killer Grizz on the other team. All right? That cool? All right, hold on. These guys are on my dick. My goodness, they are eating it up. I have a lobby of 3 now. So 2 of them sent me friend requests, and yeah. And remind you guys, they're not in the party right now, but anyway, I just invited them, so they'll be here in a second. Hello. Gotta wait for the 2 other people. In my story, I just got deployed, right? Where's the other guy? Yeah, let me invite him. It's pretty awesome. Alright. Alright, we got a party of 4 now. Perfect. Got 3 people to listen to my story. Alright, so where was I? I got deployed as an EOD to Iraq for 4 years. Yeah. Anyways, so I got a 4-year deployment. So I had to, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but the friend that I grew up with, he also enlisted with me, and we went in as the buddy system. So we went through with the same MOS. We were both EODs, and we were in the same squad together. But so he and I were really close because we grew up together. He took me, his family took me in. Yeah. Anyway, so he took me into their arm, and so now we're on the deployment, and I'm trying to get as many people as I can to hear my story, because it's a really nice story. All right. So anyway, we're in Iraq now, and we got a little mission to clear out this little village of some terrorist forces, and I don't know if you guys know about Iraq, the Iraq War, but it's guerrilla warfare where they don't fight you directly; they fight you indirectly by placing bombs in little places. They're called IEDs, and they're well, not claymores specifically, but they're things like, they're called improvised explosive devices. They're called IED, improvised explosive devices, and basically they're little things on the side of the road you would have never expected to be a bomb, like a bag of garbage or like a teddy bear or something like that. It's something that you wouldn't see it, and then out of nowhere they blow it up, and 5 soldiers are dead. Yeah. So my job as an EOD was to seek those out and defuse them. So we that's why I had such a good enlistment bonus, because the risk of dying was pretty up there. Yeah. So yeah, we get this little mission to clear out this little village, and we're going down there, and we oh, I keep dying. Anyways, we go down there, and I spot something on the side of the road. It was like this little bag of garbage, like a little black bag. I remember it really clearly. It was this black bag, and there was like this water bottle sticking out of it. And I saw the tiniest little green wire, and I was like, that's not right. That shouldn't be there, And so I noticed it. I'm like, hey guys, stop! There's something there. And they like, it's our training. They stop, and I'm like, that's not right. So I walk over to it, and I have this big suit. I have this, it's like an 80-pound suit. Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm walking over there. It's like 120 degrees, not really, but it's like 112 degrees probably in this freaking suit. I'm sweating like crazy. I was just nervous, Not on top of the heat, I was nervous, so I was sweating. So I was just, it was like its own swimming pool in my suit. It was disgusting. But so I'm walking over there, and I'm looking at it. The closer I look at it, I see this guy just in this building on this balcony. He's just looking at me. And I look at him, and we make eye contact, and he stares at me for a good 5 seconds, and it seemed like forever. I couldn't. We have this. I couldn't shoot him because there's this It's rules of engagement. We're not allowed to shoot unless it's a positive threat and we're shot out first, which is just stupid. That's how we die in Iraq. But yeah, it's something. It's stupid, but it's something you have to deal with in the military. So anyway, so I see him. He's staring at me for a good 5 seconds. I'm like, this isn't right. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, so where was I? Oh, the guy making awkward eye contact with me for about 5 seconds, and I look at him, and I'm like, this isn't right. This is weird. So he after about 5 seconds, he turns around and walks away from the balcony into the house. And I'm like, that's not okay. I see him walk out of his front door, and he starts walking across the street, right? And I'm like, where is he going? And then I notice across the street there's a cell phone, right? And it was one of those IEDs that are activated by a cell phone call, right? By any kind of signal. So yeah, he's trying to activate the bomb, or to set off the bomb, and he's trying to blow us up because he knows there's something about to happen. So hey Porks, I'm telling a story. You always want to listen? Alright, then you're muted. Alright, anyway, so anyway, I see him walking to the cell phone, and I could tell that he's about to blow it up. I'm like, this is bad. So I call him on my walkie-talkie. I'm like, look guys, there's this guy crossing the street right now. He looks really sketch, and I don't know, I feel like something's about to happen, something bad. And they're like, alright, we'll check him out. So they start walking towards him, right? All of a sudden he starts running, and we're like, this is bad. He's gonna get to that cell phone. So they open fire on him and kill him, right? And remember, I'm still walking over to the IED on the side of the road because I don't want that blowing up. The blast radius of that thing is massive, so it'd be all bad for everybody, and probably kill a lot of innocent civilians, you know. So I'm sweating. I'm relieved now that, you know, the guy, he's down. So oh my gosh, dude. Well, give me some water. So anyways, the guy's down, and so the rest of my squad runs up to the cell phone to get it, and notices it had a number pre-dialed already. And we're like, all right, it's probably for the bomb device. So so I go to the bomb. I'll take a look at it. You know, I'm not really worried about it going off because we know the activation device is right there, and I'm not safe, but the risk threat is pretty low, you know, where it's not going off unless I screw up myself. But remember, I've been training for about I had about 6 month training for situations like this, and I was pretty confident, and so I defused it, you know. I made it, you know, dormant or whatever. It was, you know, not a bomb anymore, basically. So basically that was that story, you know. It was really close, really scary. Probably one of the most intense moments of my life. I was scared for my life, of course, you know. There's a guy running towards a bomb. I was less than maybe 50 feet away, and he's about to blow it up on me. And, you know, the suits, they protect you, but in that situation, you're a dead man, you know. So, anyways, defuse the bomb, and everything's good, right? That's that. Oh wow, this guy left. Hold on, let me I'm gonna back out and re-invite you guys again. Hey, Unknown Prime. Prime. Or, Dumb Campers. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna back out and invite you guys again. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm running out of freaking things to say. I've been repeating myself a lot. Ah, gosh, I'm trying. Let me get all these guys in here. I want to see how many people want to listen to my story. Well, I want to see as many. I'm trying to get as many people as I can to listen to me. You know, it's one of those stories that I like to share. You know, I'm kind of proud of how I was raised, how I. Yeah, all right, it's no problem. I'm just trying to invite people now, trying to see who wants to listen. Because then if I die, then you guys can't hear my story. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, so that was that story, I guess. You know. Yeah, we'll play Headquarters. That's cool. Where was I now? No. No, we'll play. I don't want party chat. I like it when other people get here. Anyway, so where was I? Finished with the scariest moment of my life story, right? So that was that mission, and everything was good for about, I don't know, about three or 4 months. We were just kind of chilling at base. Went on a couple tours around the, you know, a little, like a walkthrough to see everything was all right in some places. Nothing major. And yeah, there's not really many other stories except for I'm trying to think of anything special that happened. Nothing really pops out at me. You know, a lot happened, but nothing as scary as that one moment. You know, seeing a man basically running towards your destiny, in a way. You know, some deep stuff. The man had my life in his hands, but my squad, thanks to them, I'm all right. I'm back. I survived. You know. Yeah, but the suit it helps. It's a lot for. It doesn't. It's not gonna save me in that situation. Like I said, I was about 50 feet away from the bomb. The blast radius is massive, and I was definitely in the kill zone for it. But the suit might have helped a little bit, but chances are it would have been fatal. But anyway, my Purple Heart. That's right. I got a Purple Heart. I got a reward, a Purple Heart, about a year ago. This situation, the bomb actually did go off, but you know, I wasn't as close, so it wasn't fatal. You know. But I don't know if you guys know what a Purple Heart is, but basically it's when you're injured, or you know, in the military, or you're injured on the battlefield. So, all right. Where is the other guy? No. No, invite him here. I want to be host. Alright. Now, we'll invite her here. Alright. So anyways, the story of my Purple Heart. My goodness. It was another one of those tour things, you know, when you're kind of going through like a village thing, and but this time I was the squad was a lot smaller because it was a less it wasn't as much of a hot zone, so the threat level there was there was a threat level, but it wasn't as bad as that previous time, you know. Anyway, So it wasn't as bad as the previous threat level. So we're doing our little tour. We're in our Humvees, right? And once again, I see something just out of the blue, like something out of the ordinary that shouldn't be there. And I saw it, and I'm like, hold on, guys, hold up, we got to check this out really quick. And we parked about 200 feet back from where I saw it. So I'm walking towards it, and then all of a sudden I see some guy. This time I see him running, but he gets to it because remember, I was about 200 feet back, so I was about 100 feet away, and I couldn't really do much because I couldn't get to it basically. And he gets to the switch. It was just like this wire, and it was like a AA battery or something. I don't know what it was, but he takes the bomb off, blows it up. It was a car, right? But the car, there was like wires. You could tell that, how it was out of the ordinary. There was like wires hanging off the bottom. So when I saw it, I was like, that's not right. Anyway, so anyways, what do you want me to start? You gonna invite your friend? Do you guys want me to start something or not? Alright, I'll wait for your friend to get here, I guess. Anyway, so he sets it off, and it's a car. And the car explosion is massive. It's a car. Plus, on top of that, there was probably about 2 pounds of C4 underneath it. So, sets it off, blows it up, shrapnel everywhere, metal flying, and it's all coming towards me. I see just this big ball of fire and smoke and dirt, and just pieces. I'm in my suit, remember, just flying at me. Yeah, sure. What do you want me to play? Yeah. What do you want me to play? Headquarters or Domination or? I'll go with Headquarters. Anyway, so he sets the bomb off, and there's shrapnel, there's fire, there's smoke, and there's just this wave of force coming at me, knocks me back on my heels, and I swear I flew at least 10 feet back, with metal shrapnel coming at me, rocks, just everything at me. Oh, he backed out. Gosh, let me. Hold on. Let me back out and get him back. Hold on. Back out, guys. Oh my gosh, dude. My story's so awesome. These people, they're just eating it up. They're just hanging on my every word. Hello. Alright, hold on. Let me get everyone back in here. Where's Killa Grizz? Anyway, it's basically my life, There's not really, it's a long story, but it's interesting, right? It's something I like to tell. Something like I like where I came from. I have a story, I wasn't just given everything as a kid. I had to work for what I earned, or I earned what I had, basically. Yeah, I had to survive, But I don't think that other guy's coming back. I'll invite him one more time. Anyway, shrapnel flying towards me, and this one piece, and it stayed in my suit because when it lodged through my arm, right? It lodged through the suit I was wearing and the arm, and went through my bicep, and got caught. It got caught on the other side, right? Like in the fabric on the other side. So it was in my suit, but there was like a hole in my arm and everything. And I was down. I was knocked out. I didn't feel a thing, I was unconscious. I wake up. Yeah, well, like when it knocked me over, just the sound and the force of everything, it was just too much. It was, yeah. I fell hard backwards. It probably hit my head. I'm not really sure what happened, but I was out. So I woke up. I guess it was the next day, is what they said. And I was in like a little tent thing back on base, a little hospital type medical center type thing, right? And and this girl was the one working on me. Her name was Cheris, right? And she's the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes after being unconscious, and I was like, I could have sworn it was an angel, right? She was beautiful. So she was the one who was nursing for me, basically. And I was like, hold on, let me start again. So I saw her and I was like, where am I? Because, you know, I was out of it. I just woke up. And they had injected a bunch of morphine into me, and I was a little bit loopy. So I asked her, where am I? He says, you're back on base. You're fine. You were knocked unconscious from the explosion, but you'll be all right. You just have a minor concussion, and your arm. And I was like, what? And I looked over and I noticed I had like like stitches. It was 32 stitches in my right bicep, right? And it was both sides, because you know how it went both through both sides. And they kept the piece of shrapnel for me. I still have it. In fact, I have it. Yeah, I have it framed in my room. Yeah, I have it as a souvenir. It's like a reminder that I'm lucky to be alive, basically. You know. Yeah. So anyway, I wake up, 32 stitches, both sides of my arm. And she just says, you'll be all right. Recovery time is probably about 3 to 4 weeks, and then you could be back on your feet. But you're gonna have to go back home. And I was like, but wait, I still have another 3 months left of this, deployment. So they're like, look, you can't do it. You're barely alive. You're lucky to be alive. And I'm like, if there's any way I can, stay, that'd be awesome. That'd be perfect, because this is my life. This is all I know now, after being in for almost my 4 years. It was 3 years at the time, but almost nearing 4. So they're like, look, there's nothing we can do. You're lucky to be alive. We don't want to risk your life again. And I said, all right. I mean, if there's nothing I can do, nothing you guys can do, then I guess that's my fate. I can't argue with that. So I get back to the United States, back to San Diego. I got back to San Diego about 6 months ago, right? I'm sorry? Yeah, I got back 6 months ago. But I was at base the whole time, and I was still like debriefing and stuff, and I just got off it was still part of the Iraq tour technically, but not, I wasn't in Iraq, I guess. But anyway, so they give me, I get a letter in the mail, basically saying that I've been I'm going to be rewarded the Purple Heart, because I was injured in battle, right? That's what you get for being wounded, I guess. And so I got my Purple Heart. Now I have my scar. It's a really big scar. It basically looks like a surgery. It looks like, but I guess less precise. It looks terrible, but I don't know. Chicks dig it, whatever. So yeah, got my Purple Heart. I have it hanging since I got back. I got back last Friday, So now I have it framed up in my room in this house, and so yeah, basically it's up on my wall. My guardians, I guess I would call them. They're basically parents to me, but I guess legally they're guardians. They were really proud of me. They went to the ceremony and everything, and it meant a lot. And it was probably one of the most memorable moments of my life, other than probably that time I was scared for my life, literally. It's probably my second most memorable moment of my life. People clapping, got to shake the commander and and yep. So yeah, that's basically the story of me. That's where I came from. Came from a I don't. I think I might go trying to find them would. I'm not sure if I can even, if it's even worth it, I guess. Well, I'm sure it'd be worth it, but they're basically strangers to me now. I feel like seeing them will just even maybe make things harder, maybe complicate things. And it sure would be nice to meet them again. I have fond memories because remember I was 12, so I wasn't young, but I was pretty young at the time. So yeah, and then I believe since they both got deported to their home countries, my dad got deported to the Philippines, and my mom to Venezuela. So they might still be there, but I don't know if you know about Venezuela, but they're basically it's basically a dictatorship over there. So getting out of there is nearly impossible. And then so and my dad, Philippines. I'm not really sure. He's probably in the Philippines. Getting out of the Philippines isn't as hard, but he might be in America, might not be. But he would have no way of finding me, because remember I ran away from the foster system, so they had no way of tracking where I was. And then so yeah, but I kept my last name, but they it's a common last name, so it'd be hard to just track down just one guy. But so yeah, that's the story of my life, I guess, in a nutshell. I mean, sure, I missed some key moments, but I guess my parents being deported as a kid kind of made me the man I am today. Responsible, respectful, just an all-around gentleman, I guess. So I guess in a way it was almost a blessing. So yeah, I guess the end, right? Yeah. Sometimes I see kids who are given everything, basically. They don't have to work for anything. I'm not saying it's a bad way, but maybe you're that way. Maybe your parents probably they provide for you. But sometimes when I see them just spoiled, rotten, it kind of hurts to see that. Nowadays, I mean, it's kind of, I'm over it. Like, I realized that's my life and I had to deal with it. But as a kid, when I saw my friends with luxuries that I just didn't have, like nice clothes and stuff like that, kind of bugs me to why I couldn't have those privileges as a kid. So I see them and I'm like, look guys, I never said anything. I never confronted them about it, but I always wanted to. But just, you know, be grateful for what you have, and you know, don't take it for granted, because you know, there's people with less fortunate lives than you. You know, like I made myself. You know, so yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Oh, so I never got into detail about Charisse, the angel nurse, did I? Oh. Basically, she was the one tending for me while I was still in recovery. So, her and I spent a lot of time together because she had to be by my side nearly 24/7 for about a month. So we talked a lot, and you know, we got pretty close. She came from a broken family. The parents divorced, but not exactly, you know, deported. But she lived with her father growing up, and you know, kind of dealt with it. You know, I mean, a lot of families are broken like that, but anyways, we got to know each other really well after being together. We ended up being really close friends. In fact, I'm thinking I might propose to her sometime, either in the next couple months or, you know, sometime. But I feel like her and I get along perfectly. She's like a best friend that, you know, is there for me. Well, she was there for me because, you know, she tended me back to me, I guess. So, you know, we're still talking. She lives in Texas and I live in California. So she's over. I live in the Rockland area. Where? Anyway, so yeah. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so she lives in Texas. I live over here in Rockland, California, and we so we still talk a lot, but you know, I can't see her till maybe later. Maybe we get a. I'm thinking about going to visit her because I still have another 2 weeks on this leave thing, so I might go fly down there for a week, hang out with her, maybe meet her family. You know, maybe I might even propose to her down there. You know, it'd be nice, something memorable in her hometown where she grew up. And I'm a certified paratrooper, so I was thinking of renting a plane and maybe parachuting down into her backyard with like a bouquet of her favorite flowers, and maybe on the back of the plane have one of those waving signs that say, you know, "Will you marry me, Charisse?" And I feel like that'd be a romantic way to, probably one of the most memorable mays you can, yeah. But it'd be something you wouldn't forget, you know, something that would stick with you. A story to tell your kids, you know. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. It's really expensive to rent a plane, so it's probably going to be upwards towards about $3,000 to get that sign made, to rent a plane, and to parachute in a designated parachuting. It's probably illegal, to be honest, but I have a couple of friends that, you know, being in the military, they know how to fly planes, and and I might be able to get a good price on it. So I feel like that'd be something I'd want to do, and you know, hopefully do something that goes down in history as the greatest proposal of all times, you know? So yeah, it's my story about Charisse, her and I, she and I, we, us, together. So yeah. Oh, she's 21. She's just a year younger. Ah, man. So, yeah. I guess that's basically my whole life, you know, now. I haven't told that story that many times, or I guess in that much detail. So, now you know. The enemy got an AC-130. Reminds me of one of the times in Iraq when we had to call in an AC-130 on one of those villages, one of those little towns. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever witnessed, to be honest. In a sad way, yeah. I remember this one time we had to call in an AC-130 on this village because it was a really hot zone. You know, the threat level was almost at the maximum. It was really close to being, you know, at the worst. So there was a firefight going on, and there was gun shooting everywhere, and our crew was or my squad was in danger, right? The squad was, hey General, I'm telling a story. So anyway, I was we were in a firefight, and things were a little crazy. So called it an AC-130. Had the whole city. Yeah, they have these big tracers on them, so you could just see them coming from the sky. It's just like, yeah, just huge. Yeah, so we leveled out the entire city. It was just flat dust and rubble and debris, and I'm sure, yeah, we had to call it in, and it was like, imagine the best fireworks show you've ever seen, times like a million. It was breathtaking to watch in the saddest way. So, you know, another story of my my Iraq tour, I guess. Just another one of those things to add to my resume of life.